Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is Karen Newman. This is the Saturday Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday, the 17th of October, 2020, and we have today as our very special channeling guest, Jim Charles. Hi, Jim.
Hello.
Hi. And today in the room, we've got we already have a very full room, and we've got the YouTube going in my background. So let me start. In our room today, we have Dawn, Jim, Angie, Barbara, Kathy, Christine, Daniel, Eva, Ian, Yana, Jay, Jonathan, Michelle, Salesh, Safira, Sheer, Stephanie, and Sultan. So we've got a big room already, and Dawn's going to be monitoring the YouTube. We're going to be taking questions. Elga's coming in at the moment. She's coming in straight away.
And Will is there.
And Will is here with Angie. Yay. So, and here come a few more people into the room. Why don't we start with some blessings before we get going? We'll start with Kathy, we'll go Barbara, Dawn, and then Will.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Sharo sotaho matavawisi asurape satoku ashane sharo satavi maro alashe ene poritavo sharuso sotipavo shane kushuare lale oshu tara umena ashane sharo tara aro la loro osh takuku ane male mato faroshuane asuratuko ashante kushuru salale osha antori menu siporodu purushi adunaya sane doja alara tokosa.
Some of you have fallen into fatigue and into tired, lethargic ways because of the grand solar minimum and the ways of the earth. It will pass and you will get used to it and you will rise up once again, but do not be discouraged. This is a time for you to shine and to rise up and to make your way in this world that is now needing you more than ever.
Barbara? Barbara? Is she still there? Okay, we'll have Dawn. Let me see, she's muted herself.
Sorry. Okay. Okay. Who's on?
Sorry, I don't. There she is. You're muted, Barbara.
You and me both. Sorry, never mind. All right. Yata karania ko shoa pakasia toko. Nakashia pakata kiha toko waki. Napaka nakia shitia toko shoata. Kisipia toko mahia. Katia toko shoahia. Kamanatia toko ashitiata.
We look from a distance to a small world that is in great danger. We are here to help, we are here to enlighten, we are here to bring you energy that you need most desperately. We are all that you need with God's help.
Thank you. Dawn.
Thank you, Karen. Tarokuma dani kita chitui tishkat aror ashnana he keshet ato tusmeo kotola. Fuyanta ala ultushna kashikita esi. Tu maxi adu mosmati kashikipu. Sedanta skill. Ziautora shi ata tatani sakan.
Rise up, O man. It is being seen that there are many things you can do at this time. Rise up, O man, and there will be rewards for you beyond this period. And this is a time where you must be seen and heard, and people will know who you are by your disposition and your spirit.
Will.
Arhanati tikawai. Tota tawana hasiti tukuchai hisa. Na tukutu hurwisa siniti sawata tirana. Na hasasia titakata kuru huturusa. Shashiti arna hasahi kitatu tawari. Na hana hisahaya. Chaya tatakai titikai. Shahasanani hisaka titawati, Shayihika nati hitasi, Tol chakara sana, Niri harsana iriraka watu huasha, Sihana tiaranara, Sikawayati tiarna, Nasa arwasasihi achachiara, Narahuku turno, Nini hanna hiriarana, Korasaskonea.
Can anyone know the way of man? Can anyone know how much healing is in his hands or in his forehead? Can anyone know how much he can do to prevent negativity? Can anyone know what it is like to be on the earth at this time? You all are here as examples of those that have come from beyond to place yourself in harm's way to save the earth. Remember this, you are greater than you even believe you can be. This human body can do more than you think it can. And if you call on the spirits to help, it can provide you with all the strength and all the miracles needed to save the earth.
Thank you. All right. Angie, why don't you start with the announcements? And then we'll go through all of the.
I just have one announcement. Jim and I, are scheduling the first class. We're going to do the channeling class. A little blurb on the channeling class is, if you have a desire to learn to channel, you can benefit strongly from this course. Even if you haven't had any experience channeling, or even if you want to enhance or increase your channeling abilities, this is a perfect time for you to participate in this class. We are going to schedule it within the next 4 weeks. Get the date. I will get that on the hucolo.org channel up under classes. The price for the class will be $123. Learn channeling is easy as 1, 2, 3. And it will be a 4-hour class, interactive. Send an email to classes@hucolo.org. I'll get you on the list. And as soon as everything is set up and put in place, I will get emails out there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, I've got people coming in and out. Okay, so we have some requests. Today we have Grindel as a request, Elijah Poryak from the Pleiadian, the Arcturian Collective of 65, Leonis of the Galactic Federation of Light. Those are the requests that we have.
Let's see if there's any other requests, because a lot of people came in since we've asked.
Does anyone else have a request?
Because I know that several more people have come in.
I have a request, Krishna, if possible.
Krishna.
Okay. Krishna, okay.
Anyone else?
Saint Germain.
Saint Germain?
Saint Germain, okay.
Please.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, today is the beginning of Navaratri, which is the great festival of the goddess Durga and all her many aspects of Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Pavrati. But we can maybe request Durga as a divine mother.
Okay.
Let's put that last.
And there was somebody else that was saying something when you.
Okay, who else was saying something?
Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus, okay.
All right.
And someone from YouTube is requesting a blue avian.
Okay. Yeah, I knew there would be several more because a lot of you just came in.
Yeah.
And so at least we have a wide
Should I read the list again?
Yeah, if you would, please.
Okay, sure. Grindel, Elijah, Poryak the Pleiadian, the Arcturian Collective of 65, Leonis of the Galactic Federation of Light. We have Krishna, Saint Germain, the Divine Mother, Durga, and Jesus, and the Blue Avian.
Okay, very good. Let's see who comes in first.
Okay.
And have a good session, everyone, and we'll talk to you later.
You too, and feel well, and let us know how you're doing.
Well, so far I'm okay.
Great. Okay.
All
Thomas,
right.
be quiet. Okay. My dog telling him to be quiet. Okay.
Greetings, I'm Elijah.
Welcome, Elijah.
Thank you. Today I want to speak about truth. There are many kinds of truth in your realm. Some of it is very positive and some of it is very negative. But yet it is still truth, as you may want to call it. You may see it as something that is there, that is something that you can visit, or something that is able to be touched. Truth can also be a concept, but it is also something that is necessary for each person to live by, their own truth. Now, some of people have truths that are actually lies because they believe it so strongly. It is their truth. Whether it is right or not, that is their truth. And if you want to change that truth, you will find it difficult without a great amount of proof or without a great amount of understanding of how to change their minds. Now, truth on your world and conceptualizing the truth that you have in your plane of existence has come to my attention because many of you are concentrated on negative truths, things that take the mind away from positivity, things that take your mind into judgment or take yourself into pointing fingers at others. Remember this: if you're going to learn about the negativity of this world, if you're going to be involved in it in some way, do not make it part of your soul. Pray for it. It does exist. But let yourself pray and let yourself know that this is how to deal with it. It is not for you to start judging people. It is not for you to start telling people how to believe in your truth or how to accept your truth. But it is for you to bring your truth into yourself the way it should be. Now, I talk about the truth that comes from your realm, but let's look at God's truth. God's truth is many things: unconditional love, compassion, grace, beauty, understanding, acceptance, diversity. All these beautiful things come from up here as well as from the side. You can accept them from people speaking to you about them, but you can also accept them in your prayer life and in your devotional life directly from God, from Jesus, from those that are your gods. And remember this: God is God. No matter what name you give him, he will answer as God. He will answer in God's way. In the way you perceive God, this is how he will answer you. If you perceive him as not very powerful, you will not get a very powerful answer. But if you perceive him as an all-knowing, wonderful, and powerful God, you will receive a different kind of answer, a powerful and important answer. And many of you are aware of this, but fall into the problems of the world and fall into the truth that is all around you and not the truth that God wants you to be involved in. You trouble yourselves with yourselves, and you trouble yourselves with those around you and the world around you. Yes, your mission is to help the world around you, and to know it is to be helpful to it because you must know what you're dealing with. However, it is not to judge it. It is not to point fingers at it. And it's not to blame it for things that you cannot bring into understanding. You must understand that your missions are here to enlighten. They're here to broaden. They're here to allow. They're here to engage in positivity, healing, beauty. Many of you out there are having much healing gifts, many healing gifts. Many of you have the gift of speaking and knowing what to say at the right time to the right person at the right moment. That is a beautiful gift, and use it constantly. Some of you have the gift of helping hands. You reach out, you lend your hand and bring people out of sorrow or out of trouble. Some of you have that empathy that helps others to hurt less and to bring about less pain emotionally and physically. Some of you are going to be channelers and bring information to the world that will help the world in many different ways. You know your gifts, and some of you are just realizing your gifts. But remember truth. When you find your truth, hold on to it. But remember, that doesn't mean to stop listening to other people and their truths, because you understand that there are some truths that are masquerading, some lies that are masquerading as truths. Do not fall into that. It is difficult to stay away from that, but you must know the world in which you live, and you must know not to seek out negative things, because you will fall into negative truth. Does that make sense to you? I'm sure it does to some. But clear yourself. Fill yourself with truth from here, not truth from here. Because this will deceive you. But God will not deceive you. God has a broader message. God has a wider understanding. God is not a narrow thinker, but he has a greater understanding of who you are than even you know. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. You set your goals here, and God wants you to be here, because he sees the greatest part of you. Your greatness is in God. Your greatness is not in yourself, or what you learn, or what you see around you, or what you conceive as greatness. But your greatness is in God. And when you find that greatness in God, you will not even know that you're great. Because in that greatness is a great humility as well. Because you will be seeing God and not yourself. You will see the works that he is doing and not your hands doing it. You will see that he is working through you and give him the glory for it, and not be self-contained with your own bragging. God will not see you in the ways you see yourself, but he sees you in a greater way. And you, as you see him as in a greater way as well, and you work together, and you become one. And that doesn't mean you're giving up anything. You're adding to everything. You don't have to give up anything. I know that in the churches and in the belief systems, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. This is not the way to look at the belief system, but God is adding to you, not taking away from you. God is not going to make you stop doing things. He's going to add on to you. He's going to build you up, make you greater. He's not going to diminish you. Fear not. God is not here as a destroyer, but God is here as a creator. God is here to create you in even greater ways than you can possibly imagine. Let him create you. Let him build you. Let him sustain you with things that you cannot even believe that he can do for you. Do not worry. I know many of you worry about the economic collapse. Many of you worry about if the disease is going to get you. Many of you worry this, that, and the other thing about who's great and who's not great. It is not in God's vision for you to worry. It is in God's vision for you to accept that he will take care of you, that he loves you, that he is part of you. And if you accept that as truth, you could have one morsel of food left in the house and still not be worried, because God will provide the next meal. That's the kind of faith he's looking for in this generation. And it's hard to find because it's not been taught properly. But come to God. Tell him all the thoughts of your heart. Tell him what you know about him. Then open yourself and let him tell you something. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe just a morsel. But what is happening in this world is you're closing yourselves off to the greater gifts. You're closing yourself off to the greater understanding, and you're understanding all the conspiracy theories, all the negativity, all the things that really interest you about the world that you live in, and you're ignoring God's will. You're ignoring what God has to say. Open your heart to that. All these horrible negative things, yes, they exist. Why trouble yourself with them if you cannot do anything about them except for pray for them? unless your mission is to go and take care of some of these problems, then yes, you should know everything about it so that you can go in and defeat the enemy. But many of you are not even dealing with these things, but yet your mind is consumed with them. Fill yourself with God. Fill yourself with the things you need for your mission. Those are the things that you need to fill yourself with, not the negativity of the earth, because it will come upon you and it will be different than you think it is. So you really cannot prepare a lot for negativity because it strikes blindly. And the only way to prepare for negativity is through positive ways. Gird yourself up with love, understanding, peace, compassion, all the good things that there are. For that will defeat the enemy. That will defeat negativity. Not knowing the darkness. You can't throw darkness at darkness and make it go away. All that would do is build it up more. But I'm going long today, so I'm going to stop.
There is a question for you if you have a moment.
I'm sure there is. Go ahead.
Okay, the question is from Safira. Go ahead, Safira.
Thank you. Thank you, Elijah. Hello.
Greetings.
I'm wondering, I was once told by God that if I would heal the relationship with my parents, it would be easy to feel him and her. So I love what you were saying about that very intimate type of relationship with God. It's difficult for me, and I know for other people, to have that, because there are so many bad role models. So my question is, do you know any modern day really good role models, aside from, of course, building our own relationship, but do you know any role models representing the kind of faith that God is looking for on the earth today?
Well, there are some very, very, very happy and beautiful people in some religious areas, but I say become your own example. You cannot be like an example. You may see an example and it may hurt you and not help you. Let me explain. You see them, they're happy, they're joyous, they're doing this, they're doing that, but you can never live up to that example. So why put yourself up against them? Be your own example. Make yourself what you need to be in God. Use what you know about him to be more like him. And now some people say, how do you do that? You spend time with him. You set aside a period of time, you meditate, you pray. You can pray all day long if you wish and come into consultation with God at any time. And other people find it necessary to go to churches or things of that nature. But remember this, there's a lot of do's and don'ts there that are not necessarily made by God, they're made by humans. But remember, you must be the example to the world. You cannot be like anyone else. There are those like the gurus, the Mahatma Gandhis, and the I do not even know what names to throw out, because whatever name it is, there will be some flaw in them or there will be some perfection in them. And you must be your own example. You must look up to them, of course. They're figures in history. Look up to Jesus. He's a great example. But you say, I could never be like Jesus. He's too good. He's too perfect. He did miracles. But yet, that is the example that the Bible gives. No one can live up to what someone else is doing, but they must live up to their own potential. They must live up to everything that God wants them to be. And so the way to do that is to be in contact with God yourself, not in contact with his examples necessarily, because some of those can be misleading and say, I could never be like that. I can never do that. And God don't want you to be like them. He wants you to be like you. He wants you to be you. And so, yes, Jesus is a wonderful example, but you as an individual are a wonderful example also. Does not your light shine? Does not other people see the light that comes from you? And so as you are growing in spirit, you become that example. You become that light. You become what you seek.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Was that not appropriate for you?
That was fine. Thank you very much, Elijah.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. That was the only question that we had.
All right.
Thank you, Elijah.
Well, I will leave you to others. I'm
Yes.
sure there are some waiting.
Thank you
Have
so
a good
much.
day.
You as well.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. One moment. Give me a minute.
Okay.
Yeah. All righty then. Greetings,
Welcome.
everyone. Someone called me, I heard.
You were summoned, that's for sure. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Ian had a big question for you.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
Hey, Grindel. I was been talking to a couple of people. We were talking about walk-ins and what that process might be. And I understand you are very experienced in that. And I wanted to know, I had a lot of questions that has to do with the process. What happens to the, how does the agreement take place? What happens to the person who walks out? Under what circumstances can a walk-in and agreement be negotiated? Can you just explain the overall process of what it means and what takes place in the process of walking in?
All right. There are several different ways a walk-in can work. So let me give you a couple examples. First of all, my walk-in, I don't know if anyone knows about this. I'm sure some of you do. My walk-in was in the 1960s with a military man that had a disease that was not going to be cured, and he was on his way out. But it was going to be very quick. He wouldn't have suffered long, but he wasn't going to be around for much longer. But I made a deal with him that if I could use his body for X amount of time, that I would give him the cure to that disease when I returned, and he could go back to living a normal life. Now, there was a lot more to it than that, because he had a fiance, he had parents that cared. There was all kinds of things that were going on in his life that had to be dealt with as well. So we had to work out quite a few things. his thought process were not real clear on a lot of things that a walk-in would do. And you would say, okay, so he agreed to it. Where did he go? He left his body. This was the agreement that we had. He wasn't in the background. He actually left the body so that I could have full control at this time. Now, I did study him before I did the walk-in to know what he liked, what he disliked, so I wasn't so completely different from him that no one would think that that people would think that he was something weird. So I tried to be a lot like him. But he did go into spirit for a little while, or into a stasis period. We could do that for him. Usually, when someone is given this opportunity, we have the means by which to take care of the person that is being removed. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Is it the spirit or the soul that leaves?
It is both, actually. Because I had to be in there fully with my spirit, and well, there's and soul. So yes, it was just put into stasis. It was put into another holding body for temporarily while I was doing my work, and then brought back. He didn't actually, in that stasis period, his body aged while I was using it, but he did not move forward at all, except for when he came back, I had to give him some information about things that he had done and all that stuff. So I had to catch him up with who he was now. But it is that I did put him in stasis in another area. He wasn't aware of what was happening. He was in a different place. Does that answer your question? Now, there's other ways to do walk-ins. There's walk-ins that come in and the person is still there. Yeah. But anyway, what happens with that? They when a walk-in comes in and makes an agreement with someone, but they're not leaving, that's something very different. That means they're sharing the body, they have two different souls, two different spirits, two different everythings, two mental capacities. And when the walk-in is available to do what he needs to do, he lets them know so he can come through and take over for a period of time. Now, the person in the forefront that has to move to the background is, maybe surprised by that particular action, but they had made the agreement. So they moved to the background so that the walk-in can do their mission, can do whatever it is that they need to do. All right. So, and that's agreed upon. But for the most part, the person whose body it is, whose life it is living their normal life until the walk-in has their moments. All right. Any other questions about that?
Yes, when the person goes into the background, what state are they in, or what do they do when they're in the background?
They actually just listen. They see what's going on, they hear what's going on, but they're not talking, because the person that is the walk-in is doing all the action. They take over the body completely. So it's like you're just an observer in your own body.
Okay, so it's not it's probably misguided to think that you can use negotiate a walk-in as a means to escape this life, the rest of your life.
You would need the other kind of walk-in to escape that life. Somebody to come in put you in stasis, and use your body for a period of time. Those are special kinds of walk-ins. They don't happen very often, and the reason is this. There's a very good reason. When you put someone in stasis for a while, that can be very disorienting to them when they come back to their body. You have to spend a great deal of time within the body with them to bring them back up to speed to where they are in that lifetime, what's happening, and all that. And sometimes that doesn't work real well. So, in order to actually facilitate something like that, you have to have a very good purpose, a very good need, and a very good reason for it, because it can be very difficult to bring them up to speed when you get back. You have to actually share your thoughts with them. And, like the Vulcan mind meld, well, it's a little bit like that, not quite. But not all your thoughts are shared, but the ones that are necessary are shared. Does that make sense?
Yes. What about in the background? If the person in the background doesn't want to come back?
Well, if the mission is done, they have to come back. That's the agreement. When my mission, if I have a walk-in and I have to be in the forefront for maybe several days or maybe a month or two, and then it's over. I'm done with my mission, and that was what was agreed upon, and I did it, and they have to come back because I'm leaving. If they don't come back, then their body just lays there without any kind of consciousness, but they will come back. That's the agreement.
Okay. I believe that answers my question. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. Thank you. There's a question from Kathy. Go ahead, Kathy.
Yeah.
Hi, Grindal. That was a
Greetings.
great question, Ian. That was fascinating. I have a different question, but just to clarify one thing on the walk-in, what happens to the original and the original soul, to their soul? Does it get completed by the walk-in, or do they have to reincarnate and finish that?
It's put in stasis, and so when the walk-in is done, they bring everything back to that body.
Okay, so they just kind of put it on pause and they have to pick it up from where it left off.
That's what makes it difficult. Yes.
Okay, fascinating. Wow.
Yeah.
My question
Doesn't
is
happen very
about.
often, but you'll see people in history that just changed personalities or seemingly changed personalities and then came back. So I can't give you any examples right now because I wasn't one of them.
Yeah, I'm sure their families were probably very confused.
Yeah, they were.
I can imagine. My question is about the portals that we have, the 1010 portal, the 1111 portal, and the 1212 portal. Can you explain? I've been getting some activations in light codes for it, but can you explain how do we best utilize those portals to our advantage?
Well, yeah. When utilizing portals, you realize they have a certain kind of energy. They're used for certain kinds of things. They can be used for enhancing the body, enhancing the spirit, enhancing the mind, blah blah blah. So you use the porthole the way it's supposed to be used. If you know what the usage of it, then you go there and take that information, that energy, and that functionality from it. If it has many uses, you take them all. So, or if you want. So using portholes is something that humans are not used to yet. They just go to them and they sit in them and they go, well, this is nice. And there's a lot of energy here and blah, blah, but they don't know how to utilize it properly and bring it into their systems in a way that it's really supposed to be used. There are portholes that have many different dimensional areas in them, And so you can use a porthole to actually look into different dimensions. You can actually use a porthole to bring up your physical state. You can actually use a porthole for mental increase in mental capacity. You can actually use a porthole for healing. So many different ways to use them. You're getting light codes because these light codes are telling you how to use the portals. And just follow those codes and you will know what to do. If you're receiving these codes, just accept them and say that you want to use the porthole the way that the light codes want you to. And that way you'll get the most benefit out of them.
Okay, wonderful. Awesome. Is for those that are not getting, is there a simple or an easy way for them to use the upcoming 11/11 date and the 12/12 date?
What are you saying? You're saying how do they use it?
Yeah, how do they use that date, that energy of that 11/11 or the 12/12? How do they use that to better themselves? What can they do to utilize that?
They can recognize what that means. Your numerical systems have meanings for these number systems. And it has different meanings in different places because of star placements, constellation placements, distances between stars, etc. So on your planet 1111, you find the meaning of that that attaches to energy, and you will find that's how to use it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you very much. Sheer has a question. Go ahead, Sheer.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Grindo?
Great. How are you?
Okay. Well, so walking, as far as I know, is something that is still legal and still happening.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let me understand it. Our galactic friends and family can't contact us. However, if someone wants to take over our body, he can communicate with us and then take our body, and even we can swap bodies.
Yeah,
and that's
because it's not the presence of an alien that's there. It looks human. It's there as a human. It's there to do human functionalities, or so they think. Governments do not really pay much attention to walk-ins. They've never been a problem for them. Because they always look human and nobody's accusing you of being an alien. Nobody sees anything happen. They don't see that you're dematerializing and then rematerializing. You see, it's all about the rules of the game and how it's played. So as they are seeing a walk or know about a walk-in, they may know about it, but they won't check it out unless it's doing something against the military or doing something against the government, or the thing is, so that's still happening. But you remember this too, it's not an alien in an alien form that's coming in to do the walk-in. You don't see them. They start off talking to you in another dimension. And when they come in inside of you in a holographic sort of way, so that they're not even fully, they don't want to be fully human. They don't want to feel all the things that humans feel, but they have to in a certain way so they can function properly. But there's a lot to it. So keep asking questions. Maybe we'll get to it.
Okay, so let me get this straight. There's a couple of walk-in options. One of them could be that me and someone else switching bodies for a period of time, even if it's a minute or so. It's possible?
Humans switching bodies with humans?
No, humans switching bodies with aliens. Let's say
Yeah.
an alien contact me, and it's like in chess when you have two specific pieces that you can switch between them, and
Yes.
they're in. Okay, so technically and legally, an alien, let's say from the near, can contact me. He can walk into my body for an hour. I will be in his body for an hour on his spaceship, walking around, speaking with other beings, and that will be absolutely legal in the eyes of the galactic government and in the eyes of the Earth government.
You're taking it a step away from being on Earth. You have to be on Earth. You can't be walking around on a spaceship.
I'm in the alien body, and he's in my body. It's a loophole.
He's using your body on Earth. You're not allowed to leave Earth.
Okay, so it's still legal if I will be in stasis and he will leave me notes like memento?
Yes, if there's a reason for this kind of mission, yes, that will happen.
Well, who needs to approve the mission? Is it the race itself, the galactic government?
Did anyone come to you and ask to use your body, first of all? And they don't even know that you're willing to have anybody use your body. And it doesn't happen all that often unless there's something in your area that's very vitally needed to be done and they have a purpose for it. So a walk-in is like 1 in a billion, even more than that, 1 in 2 billion, because there's not many doing it. But you would like to be have someone walk in?
Well, if it's someone that I know and trust, that is my question. Who is the one who needs to approve it? Is it a galactic government? Is it something about the species itself?
You're the only one that has to approve it. And that it has to be approved between you and the walk-in. And the government has nothing to do with it. But you see, usually it's an outer government out there that's needing the body for a little while so that they can do this mission. And that's why they're asking for the walk-in. And they only ask people that they know that may be willing to do it.
Yeah, but my question is that it doesn't have to go through all the different bureaucracy. It means that if a certain race is allowing it, the higher ranks of that certain race, then it's allowed by the Galactic Council. It doesn't need to go through them, through those channels in order to be approved.
No, because it's a loophole. Let me tell you why. No one's appearing on the planet. There's no one leaving the planet. No, so it's like they don't see anybody coming or going except for this. They allow that holographic image to come into a person. That person's not leaving. They do see that holographic image coming in, but they do not see it appear on the earth. They see it as a human, because once it goes into a human, it appears outwardly as a human. So they're not in trouble because they did not appear to anyone. They did not break any laws. So they just came in. That was it. They said, oh, okay. All they did was come into a human, or they came close to a human and then disappeared. They're not even sure they came into you. So there's many situations where aliens come holographically and disappear before anyone sees them, and then some of them get in trouble because of the way they do it. But I'd have to explain that. But some of them, the way that they would do this would have to be a very light holographic image so that it would be barely seen. So yes, they still would see it though.
And you say that beforehand a contract need to be established, right?
Yeah.
So the alien need
It would
to
be
approach
in
the human.
it would be talked to in the brain. They would get in contact with the brain and say, we're contacting you. We know that you're interested in walk-ins. They may do it in several different ways. I won't divulge that, but usually they do it with mental telepathy.
Okay, so technically another loophole will be if I want to, let's say, speak with Tekur, and Tekur will go through the right channel, get a permission to approach me for a walk-in, and then she will contact me because this is the protocol. She needs to contact me, and if through this contact I can actually communicate with her directly.
Yes, if it's part of a mission, they will allow that.
Well, it depends on them. They can determine what mission they think it's necessary.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Do that. That is not something they do lightly. But I'll just tell you that. You may talk to Tekur about it if you wish.
Okay, thank you. I very appreciate your input on the subject.
You're welcome. It's a lot more difficult than you think.
Feel free to walk into someone in Israel and help me out.
I walked into someone in Israel and I went out. Now
I don't blame you.
but there's another mission that I may take, but I don't think it'll be in Israel. Okay.
Yeah, don't blame you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Grindel.
Yeah. Good one, Sheer.
Okay, thank you. There's a question. Don, was the question relevant for Grindel in YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead then.
Okay. I monitor the feed on YouTube and just bringing it up now. Okay, this is from Kevin Wickert. His question is, I am interested to hear your perspective on the climate change and how it will affect the United States in the next 2 to 3 decades. Will parts of the East Coast and West Coast be less inhabitable? And he's asking, what about the state of Colorado?
Well, Colorado won't be affected. However, it is true that in the coming decades, depending on the weather and how warm it does get, because right now you're teetering between global warming and ice age. It goes back and forth. You never know what's going to be happening. I would say, though, that if things continue the way they are, yes, part of the borders of the continents will be affected, not as incredibly as you think in just a decade or two, but looking out 50 years, you're in trouble.
Okay, thank you. And I have one other question as well. And someone was asking, is there a 1017 portal, meaning an October 17th portal?
Today?
Yes.
Not that I know of, but you can make your own portals and you can use your own portal energy for whatever means you need it for. What you do is get out your pendulum if you have one, walk counterclockwise, or if to bring energy in, walk clockwise to take energy out for the porthole to be from the earth to the sky. Counterclockwise is from the sky to the earth, and then you can watch your pendulum get stronger and stronger as you walk around. That's one way to do it until your pendulum is flying pretty much, and you'll know that you have created a lot of energy there. So you can use that. Now, there are people that are porthole experts that know how to make them even better than I do. So yes, but that's one way. That's a simple portal.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That helps.
Yeah.
Blessings.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a hand raised.
Well, we have several questions still coming.
All right.
There's a question from Temple.
I can see it because it's silhouetted.
Hi, Grendel.
I see a coffee cup on somebody's thing, but I don't see a hand.
I see Will's hand is up.
Will's hand is pictures is I think he's sending energy. Will, are you sending energy?
Yeah,
Are you?
It's Spirit requested my hand to go up to send energy, and there are many people who are drawing, so that's what's happening.
Okay,
right.
Will's sending energy and doing basically his thing he does with his hands.
Well, that's really good. All right. Next question.
Temple is a question. Keep going, Will.
Hi, Grendel. I have a couple questions. One dealing with portals, and I'm hoping you can kind of clarify or clear some things up. So I was informed the other day that they were pretty sure that it was Anubis who is doing something with the portals around here. Not bad, but like good. I don't know exactly what that is. That's like clearing, cleaning. Okay. So then when I was laying in my bed a couple nights ago, I felt, this is the weirdest thing. I felt someone slide like two rectangular pieces, actually lift my shirt collar up, slide it under, and push it into my chest twice. And I'm wondering what those were. I won't tell you my thoughts, but I'm wondering what those were. If those are related.
Rectangular pieces into where?
Into my chest.
Into your chest.
Yeah.
Were these overlapping or were they made into a cross?
They were not, there were two separate pieces and they both felt like they came, not like a cross, like they both came in down the long piece down.
All right. Did they have a lot of energy attached to them?
It was enough that I shook when they popped them in.
All
it
right.
was very obvious.
That definitely came out of a porthole then. Yes, I'm not sure what they were for because I can't analyze them from here, but I can tell you that they were there for a positive reason because usually these kinds of energy enforcers are there to bring back positive thought processes, positive inspirations, positive things within you. What did you think that they meant?
I thought that one of them, when I asked, they said that it was for health reasons. And then the other one I thought was like related to the portals, like a GPS tracker. This is gonna sound really weird. So that if something tries to boot me off when I'm jumping and get me lost so I can't find my way back to my body, I'll always be able to find my way back to my body. And that's what Anubis was doing. I know that sounds ridiculous.
No, that's not far-fetched at all. But let me tell you something. They were definitely positive. Okay. There's no question about that. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I wasn't too nervous about him, which is why I haven't given it much thought. But seeing we were talking about
from the porthole, newbie, yeah, Anubis.
Yeah.
I call him newbie, but yeah, he's doing some stuff for people, and I think that also the one that you said is a GPS will also increase your energy because it does have that kind of receptors in it as well.
Okay, that's good. And we're buddy too. So like I would totally trust him. I would trust him anyway. So my second question is, there's been a lot going on lately, and I just want to make sure that I understood and didn't get all the information confused. I wanted to make a video describing and showing exactly what was like, because this really bothers me. What is an Earth artifact? What is a galactic artifact? What's an Earth relic and what's a galactic relic and what's a magical artifact? And okay, so like I have examples of all of these, right? And I wanted to show them and talk about them, but the topic surrounding a lot of stuff lately for me was that you really need to be careful. You're walking into dangerous territory and blah, blah, blah.
Well,
so. It's dumb.
Whoever told you that had a bad experience with one of those things, but they can all be very positive. You can have a very positive experience from any of those things or a negative experience from any of those things. So don't listen to that. If you're working with some positive relics and positive magic items, then go ahead, work and do what you need to do. So don't let other people stop you because you know what's going on.
Okay, so it's okay because I think the world needs to, if they can see these things, they can get a better idea of what we're all dealing with. And then my last quick question is, maybe they were referring to the quotes, the individual Ramses writing quotes that I wanted to put up on Instagram. And there was some there's a person who doesn't want me to do that. And
why not?
Because it's a private matter and not a public matter.
Oh, I see.
And
so they don't want you to be spreading your private business all over the internet.
Yes, even though it could spread lots of love and joy.
Well, all right. Well, use your own judgment on that because it's your life, it's your information, and if you want to spread love and joy and what's ever in there, then that's up to you. But many times people have fear, and fear stops many opportunities, and fear stops people dead in their tracks when they are supposed to do things. So use your best discretion at this time and bring forth the portions of it that are necessary to make people happy.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, Gretel. Many blessings.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sophia has a question.
Yeah. Greetings.
Yes, hello, Grindel.
Greetings.
I was just about to cancel my question. I didn't expect it to come this quickly because it's sort of along the track of walk-ins.
Yes.
It's about a entity that integrates instead of walking in.
That's a different story, yes.
I still don't understand it. I've been asking about it. Why would they do it? And somebody said it saves them reincarnating. I don't understand. I have that happening, and I'm just trying to. Can you explain it a little bit again, please?
Integration is different. Integration means you're accepting another entity into your body permanently to interact with you as a human, to interact and help you with your mission, not their mission. Integration is something to help with your mission and not theirs for the most part. Now, when you are integrating, it is that they are going to let you be you, but they are going to upgrade some of the parts of you that need to be upgraded so that you can do your mission even better. So they will, perchance, help you with your channeling or your healing or your empathy or your psychic energies or your word of knowledge. Any of these things that may have not been so strong, these entities that do integration will definitely make those stronger if that's the purpose, if that's what's necessary for your mission.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Do they
but
do
they
it?
have to get to know you first. They have to get to understand who you are, how you work, and how to integrate. But they will eventually be you in your best sense.
So they're giving up their life where they
This
came from?
lifetime, which to them, for the most part, I know which one is up with you. They live centuries. So this is just a small stint of their life.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, thank you for explaining that. That helps a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. And they came in late. You're not going to live like to 300 or anything. So they're not worried about it.
Hey, maybe they can help me do that.
Oh, they can help you live longer if necessary. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Grendel.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Yeah.
Julianne has a question.
Julianne, hello. Hello.
Julianne,
Hello.
oh, there she
Hi.
is.
Is it possible to get a healing for my mother?
Yes, but not right now because there's too many beings around. I can't send a healing beam that well through this many pieces of karma, if you can understand that.
Okay.
But
I'll wait.
I'll come to you later.
With my mother. She's right here.
All right, very good. After this is all over, I will come and she will feel me come in to the area. I won't go inside of her until, well, you'll see. All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, there's a question from Eva. Go ahead, Eva.
Eva.
Greetings, Grindal. How are you?
I am totally well.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. I have a general question about humanity and the progress of thought and general the progress, because I'm hearing that the predictions are 20 to 22 years before actually people wake up. But is there any chance for earlier?
Yeah, let me tell you something. Nobody knows what's going to happen to wake people up. I can tell you it will be sooner than 22 years because your planet needs to wake up to survive. So there's going to be a lot of things happen to wake people up. And some of those things are going to happen soon. Don't know what they all are. I do a little bit, but I'm not telling you. But the thing is, yes, people will have to awaken sooner rather than later because it's going to take them a while to develop. So this is what you have to understand is that even after they wake up, there's still a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Lily Pat has a question.
Hello, Grendel.
Lily, yeah.
Liliana, yeah. I've been having, this is a question about a dream I had. Well, lately I've been having dreams about, a dream about animals and human. But this morning was a crocodile. The mother was a human. So is there any message, or was it just a dream? And is there any message or such a thing like crocodiles, beings, humanoids kind of thing?
Well,
if there's any message from them, or
there are certain reptilian species that look just like crocodiles, except they stand on two legs. So there are human women that are giving birth to alien-born reptilians. So that is the message that's there.
Okay. Because okay, well, thank you. That's all.
You're welcome. You may know the mother and you may know the reptilian.
Yes, I know the mother. She's very, everybody know the mother. I saw the mother, but she didn't want to feed the crocodile. So I was trying to look after the crocodile because I knew if they don't, it goes out of hand, they're gonna kill the humans. Human. I don't know. That was my dream. But the crocodile got out of hands.
I think
anyway, thank you.
Yeah, good. Very good. All right.
Okay, thank you. Don had a question. Go ahead, Don.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, just gotta get to the right screen again.
But this was your question.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes. I had a dream recently in which I was at the water's edge of the ocean, and in the ocean there was a small pyramid that flipped from an upright position into an inverted position, and then it said that the ocean level is now set, meaning it's a new setting. Can you tell me anything about this dream, please?
Yes, the, it's a new session. It's not about the ocean level as much as the purity of the water. The ocean, the pyramid was there to collect energy. When it flipped upside down, the energy was fulfilled. Many species and many beings have been clearing the waters of radioactive materials for quite a while now, and that is a sign that their work is coming to an end. Now, the levels of the water are going to be rising. However, these right side up and upside down pyramids were sent by the Clares to let humanity know that their part of the work is done.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I do have a second question on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is from Richard Ding. He says,
Yeah.
A month back, I had a clear dream of a black triangle ship floating outside my window. Can I get the meaning of it? Is it benevolent or malevolent?
Well, black triangle ships are being backwards engineered by your planet, and so it could have been from your own government. So these black triangle ships are, in many cases, neutral for humanity because they are made by your own people. Now, it might be appearing there for a reason, though, that there's someone in the secret space program or in the alien space program that is interested in you in some way. That would be my only thought on that, because I'm not sure if this black spaceship, black triangle, was from your planet or actually from the Greys.
Thank you. I'll return control back to Karen. There are other questions waiting on the YouTube, but I'm not in the queue for those. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a question from Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
Dave.
Hi, Grenda.
Greetings.
So I'm interested in information about light language. I've heard that I've been doing like activations or portals. Can you open portals? Is that something that I've done or can be done with light language?
You can, but you have to have, in order to open a portal with light language, you have to have that intention. You don't just accidentally open a portal with your light language. It has to be intended. It has to be sent to a place where you want the portal. They just don't open automatically. I mean, unless they're already there and your light language is reopening a porthole that already exists. Now that can possibly happen, but you don't create them with light language unless you have that intention, unless you have that thought process that knows how to do that.
Okay.
All right. You might be reopening other portholes that have been closed or need energy. So those you might be able to speak like language and they might be able to be opened.
Okay, yeah, I just heard a while back something about something in Egypt where there was a portal.
Ah, very good. Yeah.
Okay, was that it?
No, yes.
Well,
Okay.
I'm wondering about
Oh, go ahead.
fractals and the difference between a fractal and an aspect, is that the same thing if you have like an aspect
a
of an angel
fractal and
or
an
other being?
aspect are the same thing in many cases. Depending on the species you're coming from, an aspect can be more spiritual and a fractal can be more physical, but it's not necessarily that way.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Grindel, can you tell the difference between a spirit and a soul? What's the difference?
All right. A spirit is around the soul. The soul is the life force. The spirit can actually leave and go on its own without the soul. So a spirit is sort of an attachment to the soul that can leave the body, but it is still attached to the soul in some way. But the soul is actually the life force.
Okay. All right. I hadn't heard. I thought they were exactly the same thing.
You can keep them right where they are. They can interact exactly as you thought they would.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. There's a question again from Sheer.
Oh, yeah.
Hello again, Grindel.
Yeah.
Once again, on the subject of walking, is there a way for you to verify the identity of the being that wants to walk into you? Because anyone can tell, say, I'm an angel, but it's actually a demonic entity. So how can you tell if the person is actually...
That's a good question. The reason you can tell the difference is this. First of all, they will tell you their name immediately. That should be the first thing they do, is after they get in touch with you and know that they are connected, they will tell you their name. Second of all, if you feel very uneasy, if you feel sick, if you feel awful with the connection that you're getting, then let it go because it's negative. Positive connections will always feel good, always feel like they belong. But negative connections give themselves away. They have this energy that is opposing your own energy, unless you are made of negative energy as well.
I see. And if someone wants to establish the agreement by speaking with you and tell you that he wants to walk into your body, he needs to contact you telepathically. But what if your telepathically channels are not open?
That's a difficult one. They probably wouldn't choose that person if their channels are closed.
So there's a catch.
Yes. See, when I was coming to Earth in the 60s, there were very few people that were able to hear what I was saying. But the reason this guy was able to hear what I had to say and connect with me is because his spirit was already starting to leave. He was already dying. He was already in the process of starting to give up the ghost, if you will. And so I came in through that opening. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
All right.
Make perfect sense. Okay,
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. Aglaya, is that right? How you say your name, or Anga?
Aglaya.
Aglaya.
Yeah.
You have a question? You just have to unmute yourself. Let me ask her to unmute.
My apologies. Yes. Thank you for that. I wanted to ask, so the etheric body is basically the spirit and the electronic body is the soul?
Yes. Well, that's the way you can travel in the astral, because you're not taking your soul with you.
Right.
If you took the soul with you as you astral travel, your body would die. But there is a connection always to the soul from the astral, because it has to stay connected in some way. because it has to stay connected to the life force. However, it can go millions and millions and billions of miles away and still be connected because of the way you were created.
Right. I understand that. Thank you so much for that. The other question is, what can we do to assist Gaia at this time and to awaken the masses?
Gaia is going to help you out with that.
Okay.
She's going to have some cataclysmic things happening. Also, there are more earthquakes happening right now than you can possibly imagine. Thousands in places all over the world. But there will be situations that will open people's eyes in this coming year. This coming year opened many people's eyes already with the coronavirus and the shutting down of your planet. That woke some people up, but it also made some people stupid. The thing is, it will continue to work. It will continue to make things more open, and there will be more things that humans can do. You can work one-on-one, helping people awaken by being a good example of an awake person, because an awake person is more aware. An awake person is enlightened in many ways and has greater thought processes and is able to share information that may not be available to those that are not awake. And they may not be able to understand it right away, or you may not want to give it to them right away until they're ready for it. But your example will help with awakening of many, many people.
So if I may ask you to, through the meditation group that I am holding on a weekly basis, and there is a number of people, and the way that I am approaching by releasing the truths and the love, would that be on the right track? Is this more or less the process?
Yes, there's some enlightenment in that group already.
Okay.
But it needs brightened. So keep your flame always lit, and always be ready to be unconditionally loving, if you will. And that's a very difficult concept for most people. That's loving no matter what happens, and not angry, and not
right.
Whatever
Judgmental.
the negative form of that is. But you are already with some enlightened people, but they're afraid to show it as well.
Thank you very much, and blessings to all. Thank you.
Blessings to you. You are on the right track, Aglaya. You will discover that your example will help to people to ask questions. They will start to say, there is something about her that I need to ask about. And then you can start to share your enlightenment with them.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. There's another question from Lilypad.
Yeah.
Hello, Brendel. Thank you. I have a question. Well, I come from Venezuela, and I have all my family in Venezuela. So I'm concerned about vaccine. I think the Russian they sent to Venezuela, a shipping, and they're gonna put it on they're gonna give it to the people. So what do you think about this vaccine and the Russian? And they're gonna send more vaccine for the virus. Vaccination. Vaccine.
What kind of vaccine?
For the coronavirus.
There's none made yet.
Oh, hey. You don't answer.
What's the shipping?
You're not? It's in there.
There's someone.
One moment. Someone needs to mute their mic. Who has their mic open? Elaine, I'm muting you. Okay.
All right.
And the Russian they sent a shipping to Venezuela like a few weeks ago, I think, for the coronavirus vaccine. So what's your opinion about this?
I think it has to be only experimental because the vaccine has not been approved yet anywhere in the world. And most places that are creating vaccines have actually put it on hold or have run into snags. So I don't think that there's any vaccine ready or available for the earth yet.
Yeah, they're going to experiment to the country, to Venezuela.
It has to be experimental.
So, yes, yeah. So the Russian and China, does Venezuela belong to Russia and China?
I don't know who it belongs to. I thought they were an independent country. I didn't know.
No, well, they kind of take over the oil, gold.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
other things.
They'll come in and take over, yes. That doesn't mean that they own the country, but they'll take what's not theirs, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Don, you have a question from YouTube?
Yeah.
Yes, just a second. Oh, gee.
Okay, why don't we come? We'll
Yeah.
Go
Go
okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Have it or not?
You go ahead. I lost the question.
Okay, no problem. We'll come back in just a few
Right,
minutes.
yeah.
Christine has a question. Go ahead, Christine.
Yeah.
Hello, Grindel.
Greetings.
Blessings to you. And thank you.
Blessings to you. Yeah.
My concern was when you were talking about the pollution in the oceans, my concern is Japan keeps telling the world that they're going to release their polluted atomic nuclear waters into the ocean. Are we going to get help with that?
Yeah, we're already getting help from the Clares. The Clares have cleaned up a lot of the radioactivity in the ocean because they live down there in domed cities. Way lower than any human has been because the pressure is too high for any human to go down there yet.
Good thing.
They have been helping to clear up the radiation in the ocean, as well as several other aliens have been sending things down to get rid of radiation as well. Plus, there's creator beings, if you want to talk to them, that have sent some of that radiation to other places.
Does Japan know that, the scientists, that's why they're releasing it?
No, I don't think that they're aware of the metaphysical part of the equation. They just think that it's better to let it go into the ocean than to keep it right there where the people can be affected by it. But then it would kill the fish, et cetera, et cetera. It would be a real mess. They shouldn't do it. They should just contain it. There are ways to contain that radiation, and they're just not doing it.
The other countries that have nuclear power, like the United States, are they getting help in containing their nuclear waste? I mean, Russia just had how many accidents recently?
I do not know, but I know they did have one recently, but they're not getting help from anyone, no. Except for some alien groups that might help them a little bit from out here, but they won't get much help with that much radiation being released. They have to wait for a little while until it calms down so that they can use their instrumentation to get a grasp on it, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Thank you, Grindel.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. There's a question from Kat. Go ahead, Kat.
Yeah.
Hello, Grindel.
Greetings.
How are you?
I am well.
I have a physical condition. I just find recently it's some sort of hernia, and it's like it looks like a piece of muscle. It's, I don't know, it's like a puncture in the muscular tissue, and the gut comes out a little bit, and it's like a swelling.
Yes, that's a medical condition. It is.
Can I? How can I?
Hey there? Oh, did I
There's
miss?
a piece of muscle that goes from here, the sternum, down to almost the groin area. It's like something that holds the gut in. All right. There's that piece of muscle there, from here to there, and sometimes that snaps, and that will cause the gut to come out a little bit, and it's not holding the gut in anymore. There is no medical procedure to reverse that. However, you can talk to your doctor about what you can do, because you'll never be able to get a six-pack unless you get that back, because that is what keeps the gut in, so that you have that middle section, so that you can have the ribbed effect. Without that center piece of muscle, you cannot have that ribbed effect.
Can I help myself with something? With I don't know.
That piece is now broken, and so you can't repair it. You can't reestablish it, but you can still exercise and keep the gut as small as possible. But like I said, you won't get a six-pack.
No, I don't need my six-pack. I need to have this out of my way.
Yes, don't worry. It's not serious. It's not a serious problem, except that if someone reaches around and tries to pick you up from behind, they shouldn't do that to you, because your gut area is now more sensitive.
So the reason I want to talk to you, if you can help me with that.
Yes, I will try to. Yeah, there's no way I can tell you what to do right now, except for exercise does help keep the stomach in, but without that piece of muscle there, the gut will stick out.
There is a surgery that can be done, and
Probably yes. I do not know who does it, but you can find out from your medical people.
Yeah, any surgeon. So is okay if I do this surgery?
Of course, yes. It's actually probably a simple surgery, because all it is one muscle that goes from the sternum to somewhere in the groin area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so if you can do something, I don't know how to do that.
All
if
right.
you can help me.
Yes, I'm not a doctor, but yeah, I played one on TV. But anyway,
after this, we roll in the mud.
I love it. Yes. Our doctors do roll in yellow mud. That's one of the things we just do.
I can't wait to do that one day.
Yes. Scalpel. Oops, it's covered with yellow mud. Sorry. Anyway.
Thank you so much. Sue has a question. Go ahead, Sue.
Sue?
Hi, Grindel.
Greetings.
I have a question about my Egyptian connections. Under hypnosis, I found out that I was incarnation of the goddess Mat, and also a priestess under the Sisterhood of Isis. And if you can tell me any more about that, or those connections or lifetimes, that would be great.
Oh, yeah. Egyptian lifetimes, in order to be a priestess or a goddess, you had to be an alien. So that is the first thing I'll tell you right there. If you were in Isis, a priestess of Isis, you were probably Orion, Syrian, or Arcturian. Now, there were Pleiadians, but Isis didn't make any Pleiadians in her uh, priestesses. She just, because they weren't around enough and they didn't want to stay on the planet long enough. Um, so you were probably either Orion, Syrian, or one of those because they were the goddesses and priestesses of that time. Now, whenever these people were on the earth, people knew that they were goddesses and priestesses by the things they could do that were unlike anything that humans could do. So you were actually a bearer of some pretty good power. But so you're here on this planet right now to bring that kind of strong energy to the earth so that the earth does not destroy itself. You're holding white light energy and doing missions to keep the earth intact. I'd have to talk to you personally to tell you any more.
Okay, great. Thank you. That was wonderful.
You're welcome.
Okay, there's a question from David. Go ahead, David.
David.
Wait. Yeah, and then after that, Dawn.
All right.
Was this for me? Oh, you got to turn that off. Hello?
Did you have another question, David, or not?
Oh, no, I think that was
Okay,
from
great.
previous.
All right, Dawn, do you have your question ready?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Bringing it up again. Okay, this is Richard Ding. Oh, no, sorry. This is correction. New name. Randy Reinhoff. I know that Baba G is a walk-in to me. As a walk-in to him from 1970 to 1984 when he passed, can you confirm? He's asking.
Oh, yeah. Baba G is very close to Randy. Randy and Baba G are very, very, very close. And he visits her constantly still to this day. And yes, he was in and out of her. That was a different kind of walk-in as well. He did not stay permanently. There were days when he had to leave. So that was part of the agreement. So there you have a even different kind of walk-in.
Okay, and I do have one other question that I found interesting. And this is from, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly, Covadonga Dorado. And her question is, what do you know of the Essenian Egyptian healing therapies? What is your opinion? Will they be more popular in the nearest future? Thank you.
Healing therapies are coming back strongly. Healing energies from the past are a little weaker than they were at that time in the past. The reason is Earth energies have changed a lot. However, the Essenian Egyptian healing methods will come back. They will be strong. Some of those symbols were not from the earth, and so they will be recycled, if you will, and put into the proper process to make them strong again. So yes, that will happen. I believe it will, because right now there is a rebirth of many different kinds of healing modalities. And they are all they are all getting some attention.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Thank you. There is a question from Aglaya again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. A question about Mother Mary. There seems to be this relationship between her and I would like to have a little bit more clarity, if you may.
About your relationship?
Because there seems to be like an overshadowing presence of her, as special messages.
There are several out there that have this. Mary is close to many of you. Well, at least a few of you. Yes, one moment, please. Mary is a special figure and a special presence. And it is such a loving and gentle presence that it is hard to not know what it is. But it is because there is some reason for her to help you with your mission. Now, she is with other people as well. You are not alone on that. She is also with other people. But to help you understand her relationship with you, I will tell you this. She feels very akin to you because you were related to her. Now, there is someone else here in this room as well that she was also related to and is very, very close to.
Can we know what that relationship was?
Your relationship, I believe, was you were her father back then.
Oh, I see.
Remember, people change genders.
Oh, I know. Yes.
From lifetime to lifetime. So you were her father.
Was there an aspect of me as Martha giving birth to Jesus?
Martha?
Right.
Martha gave birth to someone else, not Jesus.
No. What I meant, forgive me, what I meant was assisting in the birth.
Ah, did you assist in the birth of Martha's son?
No. Did I assist in the birth of Jesus?
Ah, one moment, please. No, you were her father. You did not assist in the birth of Jesus, but you were aware of it when it happened. So you were, you had a feeling that when it happened and you awoke to understand that she was giving birth. So you did feel like you were there, but you were not there at her birth because you were her father and he was not there at the birth. But you felt a kind of relationship with her that was so close that you felt her having the child, and you awoke and you were like going through the process with her in some way.
Thank you so much for the clarity. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. There is a question from JLo. Go ahead, JLo. Sorry I missed your question earlier.
No worries, Karen. Thank you. Hi, Grindel.
Greetings.
Grindel, I have a question. Well, of course I do.
Of course.
Thank you for thank you for being here. You're the man of the show today. You're on the spot.
Yeah, I see that.
Grindel, I was dreaming one night and I woke up. So I was conscious in that way, but I still had my eyes closed, and I received the image of a woman. Her presence was very clear, if not to say strong, but definitely very perceptive to her energy, and she was staring at me. That same day, I was doing something, and the name Deborah came through, and I associated that name with the woman that appeared before me, so to speak. So for some reason, I decided to look up that name on my phone, and the person that came through, or that in the search engine, was prophetess. I'm not sure if she was a governor, a figure, historical figure from the past. And I was wondering if that was the same woman or if there's any connection there, so to speak. Thank you.
Yes, I believe that was the same woman, prophetess, and there was a relation in the past. You have very strong angel connections. And Deborah was a prophetess in the past that was aware of these very strong angel connections, and she wants to make herself aware to you now because the angel connections are still strong, and she wants to be there for a certain reason. There's something coming up in your life that she wants to help you with.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I feel like that's definitely a question for Jim, well, in a personal manner. However,
Yeah.
I've been attempting to reach out to him, and we can't seem to connect, and I don't know why that is, but
really
I sent him the messages, and yes, it's interesting, and it could just be like, I don't know what it is, but I'll attempt again and see what comes through. Grindel, thank you so much, and like always,
You're
have
welcome.
a wonderful rest of your day. Love
Excellent.
you.
All right.
Okay, Julianne has a question.
All right. Is this the last one? We're getting close.
Hi, I just have a question. My mom is gonna have a question.
Yeah.
I just wanna ask if what is my past life, please?
The last past life for you?
Yeah, yeah, my past life.
I don't think it was on Earth, though.
Oh.
One moment, please. I think you were. One moment. I'm getting Pleiadian. You were. I'm getting that you were from Tara, which is a Pleiadian planet where there's silver white Pleiadians, and that was your past life. But you were you had an interesting position. You were a very important person there. They don't have lawyers there, but they have what they called screens. And you were a screen for different personality types for job interviews and for character references, and you were able to use this machine that was able to tell you what kind of persons were you were dealing with, so you could find an appropriate job for them.
Okay, thank you. How about my name? I will.
Okay,
What?
thank you so much.
Oh, how about my name, sir?
What about your name?
Yeah.
Oh, the name on your planet was Coronen. Coronen.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you. That is the last question that we'll
Yeah.
take, Grindel.
All right. Have a good day, everyone.
Thank you so very much.
It was a blast.
It was a
All right.
Thank you, Grindel.
Talk to you later.
All right, thank
Yeah.
you.
All right, now to get out of here. All right. Mm. Hello?
Hello.
How are you
Welcome
doing?
back. How are you feeling?
Good.
That was a lot of Grindel, so I hope your voice is
Yes, I need water.
okay.
You didn't even take a drink.
No, he didn't. I was watching. So should we, so Angie, before we go, why don't we have you do the announcements again?
Okay, we are going to schedule our first class. It's going to be the channeling class. If you have any interest in learning how to channel, enhance your channeling, expand and grow, this will be a perfect opportunity. Jim and I will get the schedule, the date set up. It's a 4-hour class. The price will be $123. Learn channeling as easy as 1, 2, 3. And it will be posted under classes. If you have any questions or are interested in it, classes@hucolo.org.
Perfect. Okay. And so for blessings,
go ahead.
Oh, did you have something to say, Jim? Sorry.
I was going to say it's a 4-hour class.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. All right. For blessings, we have Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
Hello. Okay. Kiera otumana niatira summa akiasha tura ma atira akukumana niati tura hatiashan. Let the love shine. Kuma akiatu ru'mati. Let the energy flow. Ku atara hashima kukuti. Shima akiana atura. Tira mahatura akikia shanahana akukuta.
Let the love shine through you to the world. The energy will flow into the world just as you imagined, with God's help. And He will increase you and make you greater when you realize that He is the one doing the work.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Temple, go ahead.
Ushatia suku umnatia pukulupa, nianshukujaniata sakiato tiato kuloma, nianiataka, kiok ushutkianak na anandiat na piashata, tietikiataka natkot ko patiasa, naliato kubanatiata kaniataka miamnik it uskwana ata, naliasa nanana. Namaste.
There are many souls out there that are hurting, and some of you have the gift that will make them better. Healing and comfort and peace is what you should share with the world at this time. It is a very mixed up place and a place of great confusion. So please reach out and give as much as you can to those around you, for it is time to rise up.
Thank you. All right. Angie.
Oh, you don't want to do it? Okay. Tuhura hatarisana. Titkora hari titi arisana ni. Katahari saari wecha. So tawana hatachia titisa. Totoko oro husuto na niri titi arai. Chahaiwia. Nata asisi akasasa. Tuhura hawahechi. Nawaria. Sokono ushishi. Tawahasana ahikisha. Nawarina nahasakatita takaicha. Toru nana usha shawayaya. Tu chaka arniti arnihisiatiria. Chai kianasa atitikoru sunenuita. Shaya hananaria.
There are so many of us out here sending our love and prayers to your world. We see much confusion and much things that need to change, and we're praying that you will grab a hold of our prayers and put them into use. God is with us, and He will help us to care for you as you move forward in your destiny. And we pray that your destiny is fulfilled shortly.
Thank you. Okay, Kathy, go ahead.
Parashio Watario Sahashari Shuku, Pariosa and Dario Hatorotoku, Fari nojo poshiare asura dosho, pivitaro doso. Asukumare tario saru, ashanti parush, pale mojo alaro os ashanti kosha. Etuvi menos, takari osa, heshani shurus, tivipara losa zipara darosh, asantikos, emene, marimajo toko osi esani dosa.
Fear not, children of God. God's will be done, and you will succeed. It may seem difficult now, but the ways are being made straight for you so that you may follow, that you may see the light and may be part of the light as it is being shown to you. The world will not die, it will continue, and you will be the heroes that have kept it alive, the flame burning, and all the things that are true and right will be one day highlighted and accepted and brought into a world of peace.
Thank you. Okay, Yana, and this is the last one. Go ahead, Yana.
Okay, thank you. Turtua katanana ke e ye te ha. Arto ana kataya take. Ortua tata ene urtua katana e. Hai le te teua. Tua tatana katene. Urtu ua antata. Tuku hua katana. Ukutuan tatakanana e. Thank you.
Expand, O children of earth, into a greater light. Reach out and find the heat, the warmth, and the comfort of God, for he is willing to share greater gifts with you than you are willing to accept. Sometimes you feel that you need a less, but you actually need more of God, and he is willing to bring that to you, to expand you, to allow you into a greater understanding, into a greater purpose, into a greater being. Lift up your eyes and see what he has to offer you, for it is great and beautiful.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Jim, so very much. Everyone have a fantastic week. Angie, who is the channel that's coming next week?
Natalia, and she is from Slovenia.
Okay.
Channels many different beings, Lady Nada, and a couple of Ascended Masters.
Perfect. So next week we will have a special guest and named Natalia, and we'll see you next week. And then Jim will be back in 2 weeks. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Much love, everyone. Be safe. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you very soon. Much love, everyone.